Yeah, it's very important for us to get onto a good start. Everybody wants to start a campaign with a positive result, and we're coming here looking for that. No, I don't think it's one of those things that'll, will be a factor, really. Yes, he's had Premier League experience, and so we'll know all of our players, I would think. But it's a game played in a different scenario, different competition. And as I say, we're looking forward to it. We're excited about the prospect of a World Cup campaign, and it starts here. Kyle's obviously looking forward to coming back to Italy, having played here and on 2 occasions. So I'm sure that if he starts, if he comes off the bench, he'll want to make an impact.
Can I ask you a question about the vaccine? I apologize for my question, but we are interested about that in Italy because we admire the vaccine campaign in UK. Can I ask you if you already got the vaccine or are you going to get it, and how the athletes are going to have the vaccine in the next weeks or in the next month? How's the situation?
I think I'll answer that one because I don't think Stephen's old enough yet to have the vaccine. Having just touched 50, I am eligible for the vaccine, and I'll be getting it when I get back to the homeland. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Paolo.
Non vedete che questo gruppo un po' difficile, comunque un gruppo, c'è l'Italia, c'è Bulgaria e anche Svizzera. Quante percentuali possiamo dare all'Irlanda del Nord per qualificarsi?
Well, look, we know that it's a tough group. We know it's a tough draw. It's a group that we've not played these teams for quite a few years, and I think some of the players haven't played at these places for a while. So there's a freshness about that. We know that coming from pot 3, we've got to work very, very hard and play to our top level to beat the likes of Switzerland and Italy. But this group of players have done it in the past, and there's no reason not to expect them to be able to pull out some top results during this group as well. Let's not forget Lithuania, Bulgaria. Again, really tough opponents as well from pot 4 and pot 5. So yes, it is a tough group, and I think teams you might find may take points off of each other and it not necessarily go the way we expect.
Any more questions from the remote panel? Anybody dialing in who wants to ask a question? Oh, Paul, hi.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Paul.
I was just obviously going to Italy is quite a kind of romantic idea in terms of their history of football. Is it a country or a style of play that you've sort of admired down the years, and does that kind of is that important to you to yourself in that kind of environment?
Well, I know that I'm old enough to remember when Channel 4 their coverage of it during the late 80s, early 90s, and enjoyed it very much. A lot of the top players in the world ended up coming to Serie A, and it was a special league to watch. So yep, definitely, it's a style of football I like to watch. Coaches coming to the Premier League in England as well, you can learn from them, and it's as me being I still consider myself a young coach, very much learning, and it's a pleasure to come here and play.
Thanks.
Cheers, Paul. Any more questions from the remote panel? Paolo, is your hand still up, or is that a legacy hand from the previous question?
Sorry, but I have another one if you want, if I can.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because
Not about the vaccine, though.
Mancini said before that Northern Ireland is not a typical English style team. You do good defense and quick counterattack. Is he right? Do you have an Italian style? We can say that.
Well, we certainly hope we can prove him right tomorrow night. You know, it's nice to hear something like that, and I think, you know, the boys down the years that have been in the squad for the last sort of 6, 8, 10 years, I think they've certainly developed the way they've played. Their understanding of European football and the way to go and play these games. Yeah, we want to try and develop the players and the style of play, and we have to adapt to a style that, yes, it suits us, but I think we can play in various different ways, depending on whether it's weather, pitch conditions, teams we're playing against, and that's something we're trying to develop to play in various different ways.
Thank you, Paolo. Any more questions from the remote panel? Nigel?
Folks, I have some questions for both of you. You'll be glad to hear. Mr. Davis, you look very lonely over there, so I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. First of all, how do you feel about potentially equaling the caps record for a UK/British player?
Yeah, of course it would be a huge honour. It's not something that I had in mind when I set out to play football. It was just to play for my country, so to be in the position to break records like I have been in the past few occasions we've met up is unbelievable. It's difficult to put into words, but obviously always a huge honour to represent my country.
Do you think you can lead this team into another major tournament?
I think at the start of every campaign you have to have ambition. We want to go and try and achieve something. Again, we know that the group's very difficult. We couldn't have a more difficult game to begin. But we have to have belief as well. And we've proven over the years that we're capable of getting big scalps. We know we're going to have to be our very best tomorrow night, suffer at times in the game. But if we can take something away from it, it'll be a great start for us.
Is there a good feeling within the camp? Do you think the boys are in a positive mood?
Yes, it's been a long time since we've been together, so everybody's glad to be met up again and get together. And now we're looking forward to the game. We've had a couple of good days preparation, and just looking forward to kick off now.
A couple for Ian, please. These are from The Athletic. So, Bailey Peacock Farrell. How tough can it be for a goalkeeper when he isn't playing every week for his club, and he must look forward to joining up with a squad to get games under his belt?
Yeah, I think for a goalkeeper, it is more difficult than an outfield player. If you're not the regular number one choice for your club, you know that potentially when the week comes to an end of training, your preparation for the game comes, you know you're not going to be playing. You're just waiting for that chance, that injury maybe, that loss of form, but you've also got to support your other goalkeepers. And for someone like Bailey, he wants to play every week, of course, so that his national team, when he comes with it, he's fresh, he's sharp, and goalkeepers are no different to outfield players. They like a run of games. They like to feel as though they're in the groove. And but I look at Bailey, the way he comes in and trains. He looks sharp. He looks lean. He looks as though he's fitter himself. He's a young goalkeeper who's still learning, and he'll say in his own admission, he needs to build up that experience. He's got many years in front of him, similar to the Italian goalkeeper Donnarumma. 2 young goalkeepers tomorrow night, and I think Bailey can go all the way to the top, and very soon, I believe, he'll be a Premier League goalkeeper.
And also on the subject of Bailey, please, have you been able to see him continuing his development each time he joins up with the squad? And are there any key areas he has improved on?
What I think I've just said about, you can see the way he develops. I think when he first came into the squad under Michael O'Neill, there's almost puppy fat there, if you like. He needed to develop himself strength-wise. He had the natural ability, but with that, with the experience that he's growing now, he's played 1 or 2 Premier League games. He's played in cup games for Burnley, having played for Leeds in the Championship previously. He's building on that experience, and you can see that his confidence each time he comes in gets better and better. And I think the defenders in front of him, they also see that, and they know that he's a big talent, and we've got to look after him. We've got to nurture him still. He's got some good coaches that he works with at his club and when he comes with the national squad. And I'm looking forward to see where he can take that talent.
And finally, in terms of your strikers, they're all scoring quite regularly this season. Does that give you a bit of a headache when it comes to selection?
Yeah, it's a nice headache. It's one that we don't always have, but I think every one of our strikers, and that includes the 2 that have stayed at home, have come into this camp and they are hitting the back of the net regularly. Now, let's hope we get quite a few chances tomorrow night, and they get the chance to show that on the international stage. But certainly for a group coming in, meeting up, first game of the World Cup, to have your strikers in form, back of their clubs, you can't ask for any more.
Final questions before we wrap up?